everyone. So today we're going to be looking at doing some more gymnastics. So we're going to have a look at doing some jump-ins with some safe landings. So the first thing we're going to look at is our safe landing. Now our safe landing is really important to make sure we don't hurt ourselves when we're jumping. So to do a safe landing, we're going to pretend we're sitting on an invisible chair. So we need to make sure our legs are bent and our bottoms are out. So we're almost like we're sat on an invisible chair. Then we need to make sure our arms are out in front of us. So we're going to bend down, invisible chair, and our arms are going to be out and straight. Now why do you think our arms are important when we're doing our safe landing? Our arms are important to help us balance, okay? So when we do our safe landing, it's like an invisible chair, legs bent, arms out and our back straight. And that way we should be able to balance and not fall over when we land from our different jumps, okay? So we're going to start off with our stretch jump. Now if you can remember our stretch shape, it's up nice and tall, our arms by our ears and nice and stretched, okay? So we're going to do a stretch jump in that shape, okay? So to do that, we have to start with our arms out nice and wide. We're going to bring them down and around. As they get lower, we're going to bend our knees, okay, because that's where all our power is going to come from to make sure we can jump up really high. So arms up, bring them around, bend our knees, get really low, and then we're going to jump up into our stretch shape. And we're finishing in that safe landing. We're going to hold that safe landing for 3 seconds. So let's have another go. So arms up, we're going to bring our arms down and around, bend your knees, get low, and jump up, and safe landing. Fantastic. I'm going to show you that again from the side, so we'll have one more go. So we'll start with our arms up, we're going to bring them down and around, bend our knees, jump up really high, and landing in our safe landing. Fantastic. It's important when we're landing on the balls of our feet, okay, and then onto our heels, and we're not landing really loudly flat footed. So I don't want to hear any banging, okay, I want to hear nice, gentle, safe landings. Okay. Our second shape we're going to do is our star shape. Now our star shape is legs really wide, arms out, and our fingers pointed. Okay, so again we're going to start with our arms up nice and wide, nice and tall. We're going to bring them down and around. We need to bend our knees. When we get to here, we can jump up, okay, into our star shape. So arms up, bring them down and around, bend your knees and star shape, and remember to come back into that safe landing. So we'll have one more go, make sure you're getting into that safe landing. So arms up, bring them around, down, jump up, and safe landing. Fantastic. We'll do it one more time, and I'll do it from the side this time so you can make sure you'll see. Arms up, okay, bring them down, around, bend those knees, jump up really high, and holding that safe landing. Fantastic. Our next jump is going to be our tuck jump. So if we can remember our tuck shape, it's on our bottoms and we're tucked in, okay, like this. So show from the side. This is the shape we're going to want to make when we're doing our tuck jump. So stand on the spot again, arms up, we're going to bring them around, down, knees bent, and we're going to jump up into that tuck shape, finishing with a safe landing. So arms out ready, we're going to bring them down, around, bend those knees, and jump up, tuck, and safe landing. Fantastic. Let's have another go. Arms up, make sure you're getting really low so we can jump up really high to make that tuck shape. Bring them down and around, bend your knees, tuck, and safe landing. Fantastic. We'll have one more go, so I'll do it from the side this time. We'll start with our arms up, bring them around, bend those knees, and jump, and land. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to have a go at doing 2 more. We're going to have a go at doing our half turn, and we're going to have a go at doing our full turn. So to do a half turn, you have to start facing one direction, and then you're going to do your jump, and you're going to finish facing the other direction. So if I was facing you, okay, I'm going to end up facing with my back towards you. Okay, so to do a half turn, you have to do the same again. Start with your arms up, you're going to bring them jump down, round, bend your knees, and you're going to jump and turn into that safe landing. So if we do it from the side this time so you can see, start with your arms up, you're going to bring them down and around, bend your knees, and you're going to jump up, and you're going to turn halfway, still finishing in that safe landing. Okay, so we'll have one more go at doing that. So we're going to start with our arms up, we're going to bring them down and around, bend our knees, jump up and around, halfway, finishing with that safe landing. Okay, this time, if you can do that, we're going to have it doing a full turn. Now, a full turn would be if I was facing you, okay, I need to jump and I'm going to turn all the way to finish facing back to you. So I'm going the full way around, okay. So, start again, arms up by our sides. Okay, we're going to go all the way around. When we bring them down, we're going to jump. Today we're going to look at doing rebound jumping. Okay, so rebound jumping is looking at our jumping, but can we do it fast and controlled, okay, along a line. So what we're going to have a go at doing is some different jumping activities. So I've got this line set up of different spots. Don't worry if you don't have any spots, okay, you can just use different markings on the floor, or you can just imagine the spots are there, okay. So to start with our rebound jumping, we need to start with our arms up and in our stretch shape, and our aim is to jump across all of the different spots, keeping this nice shape, and we're going to try and do it nice and quickly. Okay, so we're going to start up and we're going to try and jump in our stretch shape all the way across. So we're going to jump, jump, and we're going to finish with our safe landing. Okay, so to remember, our safe landing is our invisible chair, bend our legs and our arms out for balance. Okay, so we're going to have another go at doing that. So we're going to start with our arms up, okay, keeping a nice stretch shape, and we're going to try and jump as quickly as we can, but making sure it's nice and controlled. So we're going to go and finish with a safe landing. So we'll have one more go at doing that. Make sure we're doing light feet, okay, we're not jumping flat footed, so all our foot shouldn't be on the floor when we're jumping. We're jumping on the balls of our toes. So we'll start with our arms up, and we're going to jump and finish with a safe landing. Fantastic. Now we can see how many different ways can you do that jumping. So we've jumped forwards. How many different ways can you come up with to jump in a straight line? I'll give you a minute to think. Okay, so the different ways we can jump are, we could jump forwards like we've just done, okay. Could we jump sideways? Okay, so starting with our arms up, but this time can we jump across the spots sideways, okay, and making sure that we're keeping our legs together when we do so. So we're going to have another go. So arms up, and we're going to jump 2 feet, okay, making sure we're jumping off 2 feet sideways. So jumping and finishing with a safe landing again, okay. Can we jump backwards this time? Now, what's really important to think of when we're jumping backwards, so we can't see behind us, so it's important to make sure there's nothing behind us that we might fall over onto, okay, and that we can keep an eye and look over our shoulders. So we're going to do arms up again, and we're going to jump backwards and finish with a safe landing as well, okay. If you can do forwards, you can do sideways, you can do backwards. Can you ever go doing a side to side, okay, like a zigzag? So you're going to start up, arms up, and you're going to keep this shape, making sure we're jumping off 2 feet still. Okay, we're keeping them together, we're going to jump side to side. Making sure every time we finish with that safe landing. So we'll have one more go at doing that. Remember, we're jumping side to side. So if you've got a line, okay, you can jump side to side over that line. So arms up, and we're going to jump side to side and finishing with our safe landing. Once we've had a go at doing our rebound jumping, we can have a go at doing something called the hopscotch, and this is going to get us ready for our hurdle step. So it's learning to coordinate jumping from 1 foot to 2 feet and then back to 1 foot to 2 feet, okay? So I've got some spots laid out, okay, just as a guide. If you don't have any spots or any markers, don't worry too much, okay. You're going to start on one foot, okay, so we're hopping off one foot and we're going to jump onto 2 feet, so onto 2, okay, and then from 2, we're going to go back onto 1 foot, so hopping onto 1, and then jumping back onto 2. 1, and then 2, okay, and then once we get more confident with doing that, we can do it a little bit faster. So we go from 1 to 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and making sure we're finishing with that safe landing. Okay, making sure when we're jumping, we're landing on the balls of our feet. So we have one more go, see if we can do it a little bit quicker this time. Okay, so we're going to start off 1, we're going to go 2, 2, 1, 2, like that. Okay, well done. Now we've had a go at doing the hopscotch, we're going to have a look at doing our hurdle step. Okay, so where there's one spot, it means we're going to take off on 1 foot, okay? Where there's 2 orange spots, it means we're going to take off on 2 feet, so we're going to jump off 2 feet. And where the red spots are, it means we need to do our safe landings, make sure we're sitting on that invisible chair and our arms out to help us balance, okay? So, a bit like hopscotch, okay, but we need to make sure we're coordinating now. Instead of hopping to a jump to a hop, we're going to take off on 1 foot to our jump to our safe landing. Okay, so I'm going to just take off from the green. So when you're doing it, we're going to go through. You take off on 1 foot, okay, then you're going to jump onto 2, okay, and from these 2, this is where you're going to jump up, and you're going to do your safe landing. Okay, so if we go through that a little bit quicker, okay, we're going to start up, and we're going to come back around, take off 2, and we're going to finish with our safe landing, okay, so we'll have one more go at doing that. We're going to come through, okay, and we're going to go from 1 to 2 to our safe landing. So we're going to come up, jump down, and into our safe landing. Now if we're finding that easy, when we're on here, we're taking off from 2 feet and we're jumping up, we can use our shapes, okay, to implement a jump, okay, so can you do a tuck jump off here and do a safe landing onto the spot? Or can you do a star jump, okay, or a stretch jump, okay? Have a go at seeing what different jumps can you do off the orange if you're finding it quite easy. Okay, we're going to look at doing our vaulting, okay, so we're going to look at doing a squat on and a straddle on, okay, so before we even start that, we're going to look at how we can weight bear. Now weight bearing is taking all of our body's weight onto our hands, okay, and being able to hold our weight just on our hands, okay, so to start that, we're going to start doing some static bunny hops, okay, so to do that, we're going to crouch down in our tuck shape, okay, we're going to put our hands nice and flat, making sure our hands are flat and that our thumbs aren't pressed into the floor, okay, so we don't want to hurt our hands or our thumbs. And what we're going to do is we're going to push forward and we're going to lift our feet off the floor, so we're going to jump them up, okay, and we're going to take all our weight onto our hands, so we're going to go down and jump up and bring them back down, okay, so we're trying to keep our legs tucked in into this tuck shape, keeping in that tuck shape, but taking all our weight on our hands, okay, so we're going to go again, we're going to push into the floor, lift our legs up and then come back down. And you can see how high can you get your hips and your legs up, okay, while still pushing into the floor and holding all that weight onto your hands. So we'll have one more go, so push, lift up and then back down, okay. So once we've done that, okay, and you're quite confident taking your weight onto your hands, can you have a go at doing it but moving, okay, so we're going to do travelling bunny hops this time, so it's the same again, we're going to start down, but this time when we move forward, we're going to jump our feet closer in to our hands, okay, not onto our hands, but we're going to move them further forward, okay, so instead of coming back down on the spot, we're going to travel in a straight line forward, so we're going to reach forward, take our weight on our hands and jump forward, so we're going to reach forward again, bunny hop, up, reach again, bunny hop, up, reach forward again, bunny hop, up, reach forward again, and bunny hop, okay, and once once you can do that, you can see if you can have a go at doing it faster. So we'll have one last go. We're going to crouch down, remember reaching forward this time a bit further, okay, and taking all our weight onto our hands and keeping our legs in that nice tuck shape. So reach forward, tuck in, reach forward, tuck in, reach forward, and keep going till you can get to the end. Wow, done. So now we've had a go at doing our bunny hops and learn to take our weight onto our hands, so looking at our weight bearing. We're going to have a go at doing some squat ons, okay? So squat on, still using our tuck shape, okay? We're going to start up, okay? We're going to bring it round and down. When we get to here, okay, we're going to reach forward like we did in our bunny hops, okay? We're going to put our hands flat, and that's when we need to weight bear. We're going to push off our feet and jump up, and we're going to land in front, okay? So we're going to start up, we're going to bring it down, we're going to reach forward, and down, okay? So we're going to have another go at doing that, making sure when we are putting our hands down, we're keeping them flat, and we're not pushing down onto our thumbs, okay? So we're going to start up, we're going to bring it round and down, into our tuck shape, we're going to reach forward, and then up into our stretch shape. So we'll have one more go at doing that, okay? So we're going to reach up, we're going to come all the way down, we're going to reach forward and stand straight back up into our stretch shape. Fantastic. Okay, once we can do that, we can have a go at doing our straddle on. Okay, so to do a straddle on, this time we need to be in our straddle shape, so our legs need to be nice and wide. Okay, we're going to keep them wide and we're going to reach forward again, and then we're going to jump our feet in, but keeping them in our straddle shape. So we're going to start up, bring them round. When we get here, we're going to lean forward, and we're going to bring them up. Okay, so we'll have one more go. Start up, legs nice and wide. We're going to bring them around. We're going to reach forward, and we're going to bring our legs in. Okay, so I'll have a go doing it from the front so you can see. So legs nice and wide. Arms up, we're going to bring them around, reach forward, and bring them in. Fantastic. If you're finding squat on and straddle on quite easy like that, we're going to start to add a jump in. Okay, so I've got a skipping rope here. You can just use a line, or you can imagine there's a line. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to do the squat on or the straddle on. When your feet are in, so if I've just done my squat on, okay, from here, you want to do an explosive jump up in your stretch shape. We're going to try and land over the skipping rope, okay? Making sure as well that when we're landing, we're still doing our safe landing. So remembering our invisible chair and using our arms out for balance, okay? So we'll start with a squat on. So we'll start with our arms up. We'll do it slowly first. We'll go around, bring it down, reach forward, squat on, up, and jump over that rope. Okay, so we're going to try and do it a little bit quicker now. So we're going to start in a stretch shape, bring it down, and jump in, up and over. Okay, so we'll have another go. So start up, bring it round, down, up, and bringing it down. Okay. If you can do squat on, see if you can add your stretch jump in from a straddle on. So remember, straddle again, starting with our legs wide, bring it down and round, reach in, and we're going to jump up. Okay, so legs wide, we're going to bring it round, reach forward, and make sure we're landing again in our safe landing. Okay, have a go at doing that, guys. See how fast you can get it done. Can you add a really explosive stretch jump out of your squat on or your straddle on? Remembering to keep landing in your safe landing and make sure you're keeping your hands nice and flat on the floor when you're doing your squat on or your straddle on. Well done, guys.